Hi. If your local squirrels are sampling all of your tomatoes and you're really tired of that, here's an idea for keeping them out of your tomato patch. It's a very simply constructed frame with plastic fencing material that I think is going to do the job and keep the squirrels out. Now this particular fencing material is very lightweight, and I suggest you do an online search and try to find something a little heavier. This is just what I had around. So I'll show you a little bit more in detail how this is constructed. This is the panel that I put on last, and it covers from one side all the way to the other side. And I chose this length of 3 feet because that was more or less a good size for the roll of fencing material that I chose. At the base, I've got these loop stakes which hold the fencing material in the ground. But it could also be done with a 2x4 with the material rolled onto the 2x4, and that will also hold the material to the ground level. So I'm going to roll this back to show you a little bit more clearly how this is constructed. So as you can see, it's made out of 3/4 inch PVC pipes, which you can find at plumbing supply stores. And it's a very, very sturdy and durable material that it wobbles a bit, but it really, once it's anchored in, or settled in the ground about 4 or 5 inches, it stays in place. It's very strong. And it's held together by pipe fittings. This here is a 3/4 inch 3-way Y. And that is what I love about this material, because you don't need hammers, you don't need nails. All you do is have the pipe fitting, and the pipes fit right in, and it just gets put together very quickly. This here is a 6-foot wide pipe, and if it's probably a little too long. I actually think maybe I should have put in another post going down to the ground by just cutting the pipe here and using a T-shaped pipe fitting. And the material can be attached to the pipes by string, by twist tie, by cable tie, whatever you have around or whatever seems most suitable to you. I do suggest that this piece be over the pipe rather than starting on the inside of the pipe. Now these are the parts that are going to be able to be rolled up so that you can get inside. So here again we want to use the loop stakes in order to keep them in the ground. And I'll put the top piece back on and talk about it some more. So once this final piece is in place, just attach it to the post, catching all of the netting on both layers with some twist ties or cable ties or string, and make sure it's firmly attached all the way around the top edge. And that will stay, the top piece will stay in place until it's time to take the structure apart. Now, to get inside to harvest tomatoes or to do some maintenance, you'll be able to just roll this up place it on top, and then you can get inside and work on your tomato plants. So that means that this side you want to use clips, and this piece also you want to be clipped in place or clamped in place so that you can get easy access to the tomatoes. Here's a couple of clamps that are going to really do the job to hold this side and this side's netting or fencing together. And I don't think a squirrel is going to be able to get that out. It's hard for me even. So put 2 on each side. And then the overlapping parts here, we can just use some clips. Here's a kind of clip, there's a kind of clip. Whatever works for your material, but you don't have to use such heavy-duty clamps as those for this section. And the fewer you put on, the fewer you have to take off when you want to get inside. So just enough to do the job. And then you want to, again, use these loop stakes to easily gain access. And there you have it. Now the last little bit of advice I have is to keep the tomatoes a little cooler, because I'm a little worried that being bound up in plastic fencing it might get warmer than normal. I think it would be good to put vessels, bowls, cut up soda bottles into the ground or on the ground level around the tomato plants, and keep them filled with water to have evaporative cooling for the tomatoes. Because as the water evaporates, the air around the water becomes cooler. And there you have it. I hope you'll enjoy your tomatoes, squirrel free. And there's just nothing like a homegrown tomato. I think they're one of the first plants that people want to plant. And thanks for watching. I hope this works for you. Bye.